So I'm Claire, I'm a designer here in London on Marina Willer's team, and I have been here for 3.5 years.
My name is Anna, I am Brazilian. I work in Marina's team as a designer here at Pentagram. I think the partners, they work together if there's a project that needs a different skill, for example, architecture or product design. Since I've been here, I haven't seen designers working together, though. I'm not sure if that happens.
Yeah, no, I think that the design teams don't tend to work together so much, but there's communications teams which would help with copywriting. There's product and there's architects. We certainly work with the product and architecture teams quite a lot. We used to do a lot more with Naresh's team when we had a big client in Brazil that we shared. And abroad, we've worked with Eddie Apara in New York before because he has a really kind of digital facing, really kind of excited and kind of aware of all the kind of new technology. I think the partners are always kind of trying to make sure that Pentagram as a whole has a kind of a really, is aware of how the kind of, world of design and creativity is changing. And, so a few years ago when they invited Luke and Jodie to become partners, Hudson Powell, and they joined a year ago.
Yeah.
That was because there was no digital kind of presence in the London office. And they do identities as well. They're not purely digital, but they have such an amazing understanding of that, and they kind of brought a huge kind of amount of experience with them, which has then really aided the other partners. So they kind of, they build this network to really strengthen their kind of overall vision of Pentagram.
We work together on projects, and sometimes we will share different parts of it. Claire is fantastic with images, and she's really good with the visual aspect. I think Hamlet, for example, he's Chinese. He has a very good eye for typography. I don't know if it's very clear, but sometimes it goes a bit more towards one person or the other, but it's not set in stone. It's different each time. I think there are some very simple things that, for example, you send the presentation not too much earlier than you're gonna have the call, so that you don't let them look at it before you do it. You also remind them which page you are on the PDF, so to make sure that they are on the same page. And you keep asking if they're still there sometimes, because you might get the call, if it's not Skype, if it's just a telephone call, you might get the call finished, shut, and you're still talking and there's no one there. So this is not very inspiring probably, but it's very practical
advice. I think that from the side of it, like obviously when you're presenting to people in person, you can show tangible objects. So when you're trying to kind of encourage an organisation to sign off an identity, it's very hard for them to do with just a voice on a phone saying what page in the presentation and kind of describing what it is you're seeing. And I think that that's really hard. Huge presentations, ideally, obviously, Marina and some of the team would go over there, or they would come here. But you do really have to kind of make up for the lack of tangibility with sort of Skype calls and presenting digitally. Something we've done quite a few times before is we've done films. Because you can kind of bring a little bit more of an essence into a film. You might be able to show some process, or you might be able to kind of just sort of show photography, I don't know, or animation. We've done different types of films for pictures before. We have done a film where we've kind of shown Pentagram and shown the office dog and, kind of what life is like here, so that they can kind of see that this is a really sort of friendly, welcoming place that they would like to work with and they would like to visit. But then we have also done more brand films where we have shown us scribbling on bits of paper and trying to kind of draw different logos. And I think it kind of helps bring the client in and open up a little bit more, do you reckon?
Yeah, and becomes a bit more human as well. And
yeah, I think that's a
real.
really good point. I think Marina's one of the kind of overarching strengths of Marina's work, and what she teaches us all to kind of to be more aware of is about being really human. A lot of her work with charities, that's what they need. That's what kind of that sector is missing sometimes. The ability to recognise when a brand should be more human and kind of appeal to people closer to their heart rather than on a kind of financial level maybe.